What's all this about an ambulance emergency? Why did I have chest pains? What has the bank holiday done to my brain? What day is it? What? Come with me through the curtain of blurred colons and find out what's going on in my cancer story. Welcome to the Tumor-tastic Video Diary number 36. Hi, Skatz here. I know who you are. It's Friday, August the 23rd, and welcome to Video Diary number 36 on Still Alive, where we don't like to die before we die, right? Not good for you. Pull yourself together. I am not doing the curtains joke. So it's been a week of two halves since I last spoke to you. Actually, it's been a bit more than a week, which has completely thrown my internal calendar into a spin. Spinny, spinny. If you remember, I had my fourth IV chemo last Wednesday instead of the usual Thursday to dodge the bank holiday. What's the problem with that, I hear you ask? What's the fucking problem? Well, for starters, I've already had 3 weeks of delays due to low blood test results, so my treatment rhythm was all over the place, and then shifting my chemo day messed with my schedule even more. I had to rush last week's video diary out a day early because Friday was shaping up to be like my usual post-chemo Saturday, aka the worst day of the cycle. I love it. And Friday, sure enough, it turned out to be the worst day, potentially terrifying and deadly. So what happened? Even before releasing the diary, I was feeling pretty bad. Around 2 p.m. I went to the kitchen to grab something to eat, even though I wasn't hungry at all, and while standing by the fridge trying to choose which food I could bear, I started feeling woozy. Not the fun swirly colours kind of woozy, but more like an old TV with a dodgy aerial. If you remember them, you're showing your age. You are so old. You may as well give in now, sonny. My first woozy thought, don't fall over and crack your head open. Whatever was happening, that would have made it infinitely worse. I've got a friend back in the UK who's in a brain injury unit for life after a fall. Makes you think. So I sat down at the kitchen table and shot a quick text to Liz, who came running. I was also feeling some chest pain, which is scary because, well, that's where my heart is. And I kind of need that. Did you enjoy me squeezing it? Luckily, I was a little bit stoned from the cannabis oil I'd had the night before, which did take the edge off the fear a little. Liz, on the other hand, was just about holding it together while calling an ambulance. The pain wasn't horrendous, but you never know with these things, do you? I kept thinking about my music duo mate who had a heart attack not too long ago. This could mean hospital, maybe even in a helicopter. Was I excited or terrified? I settled for trying to breathe steadily and stay calm. Calm? I don't think so. Meanwhile, Liz was trying to direct the ambulance to our house, but there was some mix-up with the road names. It took them an extra 20 minutes to find us. During that time, Liz helped me into the living room where I could lie down on the settee. The chest pain was coming and going and moving around bizarrely from there to there and here. That was the scary bit. But at least I wasn't feeling faint anymore. I know what was happening. The paramedics were fantastic. They checked my blood pressure, normal. Finger prick blood test, good. Covered me in patches for an ECG. That came out good as well. So they quickly figured out it wasn't a heart attack. One of them sifted through my hospital paperwork, asking about my treatment and what had just happened. They concluded it was most likely a reaction to the chemo. It's powerful stuff, isn't it? I've told you how it affects the nerve endings and the muscles, so this was the cumulative effects of the drugs causing an expansion of the side effects, I guess. What's it going to be like in cycle number 5? You'll be crying like a baby. Then they left, leaving me covered in ECG patches, which I hadn't really expected. I was sitting there, holding up my shirt, waiting for the paramedic to take them off, but she just upped and left. Bemused, I started ripping them off as gently as possible. Thankfully, they weren't as sticky or hair-ripping as the usual IV chemo tape. After the first 2 painful experiences, I'd taken to shaving my arm where they usually put the needle in, but last week the nurse used my wrist, unshaved. Brutal. What a ponce! Oh, and in all the excitement, I forgot to mention, I'd preempted the usual diarrhea by taking 2 tablets before it really kicked in on the Thursday night this time. That's when I had the cannabis to calm the nausea and get a good night's sleep, which worked wonders. Without that, I'd probably have felt much worse and been way more worried. Apart from the Friday emergency, I was pretty pleased with how I managed the side effects. The heat that day might have contributed to the fainting. It was really warm, even inside. Plus, I hadn't eaten much in the morning, so low blood sugar might have played a role too. No, it was me. It was all me. Oh, I almost forgot. I felt quite good on Thursday during the day, and since it was the big Noche del Vino celebration in the village, and my landlord's band was playing just down the road, I actually ventured out to watch them. They were excellent. I recorded one of their songs on video, but I'm not sure about the copyright situation, so I can't play it on here. You'll just have to trust me. They're good. What were they? Death metal? After the weekend nastiness, I started to feel relatively okay. Still fatigued and a bit achy and icky, but at least I wasn't couch-bound all day. As the week went on, I felt a little stronger each day. I'd stopped my daily stretching and planking on the IV chemo day, but by Tuesday I managed to get back into it, which did make me feel stronger. Now I'm looking forward to hosting tomorrow's live stream, which will be the first properly live YouTooSpain show in about a month. Groovy, right? No! On the flip side, Chris isn't feeling so great. He's had stomach issues and is at a wedding today, so tomorrow's show might be doubly rough for him. Let's all send him some good vibes. I hope he shits himself. La! On that note, that's all for this week. A bit of a short diary, I'm afraid, but next week I'll be back and I'm sure we'll have plenty more to talk about. Thank you so much for continuing to follow my story and sharing your own experiences and sending those lovely messages of support. Tune in next Friday for another thrilling episode of... what's his name again? Oi! Don't you dare forget my name. I'm going to do a lot more than that after what you've done to me. Ooh, look at you acting all tough. Keep your fingers and toes crossed, you lovely people. And as always, raise your drinking receptacle with me. The toast is still alive. Now, let's all do the still alive dance.